Thank you, Blinkist, for sponsoring this video. I'll talk about that later in the video. Hello, brains. Why is it that taking care of your teeth is so hard when you have ADHD? In this video, I want to talk basically about three things. One, the struggles that I've had with taking care of my teeth because I have ADHD. There are some other challenges involved, but they tend to be really common with ADHD that led to me neglecting my teeth and not really taking care of them for the last few years, honestly. Two, what helped me get over that wall of awful and start taking care of my teeth again. And three, what I'm doing to make taking care of my teeth more ADHD friendly moving forward. I talked about this a little bit. I think there was a video where I shared that I didn't follow up on something that was fairly important, which was going from my temporary crown to actually getting an actual crown put in. I moved out to Seattle, COVID shut everything down, and I didn't know the city. I didn't know how to get dental care here. And so I was just trying to be careful with that tooth. And then time slipped away from me, and like months later, it broke. And so I have a tooth that's like full on broken and missing that needs to be pulled. That was not the beginning of my troubles with teeth though. First of all, why is taking care of our teeth such a struggle? I've dealt with a lot of the struggles that are really common in ADHD. I would grind my teeth as a kid, which is not great for teeth. I also have soft enamel, I guess, which I don't know if that's an ADHD thing, but it was definitely a me thing. So even when I did brush my teeth regularly and take care of them, I would always end up having cavities, which was really discouraging. Also, shots, needles, that hurts. That sensory sensitivity, like the drill, the noise of the drill, the lights, everything about the dentist was really uncomfortable. And then just the shame that I would feel over like the times that I did go to bed without brushing my teeth, or I'd forget to floss, or the floss would hurt my fingers. There were a lot of things that would get in my way. Boredom, right? Like routine maintenance stuff can be really hard for people with ADHD. So I'm sure that when I was brushing my teeth every day and every night as a kid, like it probably wasn't for the full 2 minutes or however long it was supposed to happen. And, you know, even though when I was a kid, like my parents would take me to the dentist every 6 months, over time, like the cavities added up. And as an adult, those cavities turned to like, okay, now you need a crown, now you need a root canal, these really like even more painful, more invasive procedures. And on top of that, as an adult, as a young adult, I was responsible for taking care of my own teeth now. And I had trouble affording it. It was really expensive. Finances were a big barrier, sensory sensitivities were a big barrier, shame was a big barrier. And then, yeah, the final straw for me was like my tooth broke, and I was so discouraged at that point, not knowing what to do. During COVID, my mom had died. Like there were just so many things that I ignored it. It sucked and it was hard at the time, but like now that I'm through it, I'm okay. And this was the one area where I'm really not. That's the frustrating thing. Like I took enough care of my teeth and I did so much to take care of them. Like I got the braces and I did the retainer thing, and like I lost the retainer and I dug through garbage to get the retainer. When I was an actor in Hollywood, like weight in my teeth, I did so many tricks to like try and get myself to brush my teeth on a regular basis and get myself to floss and get myself to the dentist and face all that pain, that it was really discouraging to realize like I'd gotten to the point where my teeth were just gonna be awful. There's just the whole thing has been incredibly discouraging and disheartening. And I wanted to talk about it because I know I'm not the only one dealing with this, and it's so shameful and so frustrating and so discouraging, and it's something that should be so simple, right? Like this is an area where like if I had known how my brain worked earlier, if I'd gotten the support that I needed earlier, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation, but I am. So I was okay with that. But I think because I was okay with that, I avoided it even more. My tooth broke. I figured, you know what, it's fine. Like you can kind of see it on camera sometimes, and I will live with that. Once I'd kind of accepted that like I couldn't have good teeth and I wouldn't be able to keep all my teeth like until I was older, I guess I gave up a little bit. Something that's not possible to do just doesn't seem as important as something that is possible to do. And so why put any effort in? And then I learned why put any effort in. ADHD is hard, you guys. Like it takes a toll on a lot of different aspects of our lives, and we can only hide so much of it. And if we succeed, it is at the expense of something else, because the world is not very accessible to people with ADHD, and we have to choose. But I found something that helped me get over that wall of awful. The first thing was support. Like I was able to start talking to people and say like, hey, I need help. I need to find a dentist. You know, it was in 2020 that my tooth broke, and now it's 2023. And this is the first time that I'm doing anything about it. It just got worse and worse. And so by the time I went to the dentist, I was super scared. and this was just last week. The dental hygienist was really sweet. She started talking to me about how she got into doing what she does because she's really anxious about going to the dentist, and she had a lot of bad experiences, and she wanted to make it easier for other people. And so I was able to talk with her openly about like, yeah, I'm scared. She was really sweet, and the doctor was just as gentle. And I told him, he was like, well, yeah, this and this and this. And it was what I expected. It was a laundry list of stuff that needed to be done. And I told him like, yeah, I know I should have been in sooner, and I should have. And he looks at me and he said the most amazing thing. And he was like, hey, we had to survive. And I felt like he was the first dentist that had ever gotten it. My whole life was in survival mode, and trying to take care of your teeth on top of all that, that's a preventative forestry thing. Like when things are on fire, you're not like, hey, let me do a controlled burn over here. You're like, this is actively on fire. I need to put this out. And I think that is just such a common experience for us, where not only is the maintenance stuff that we have to do boring, but like we are trying so hard just to survive. And it was amazing to feel seen, and like somebody got that. Because of that, I think it dispelled a lot of shame and made me really want to just talk about this honestly and openly. Like, we are doing so much just to survive, and dental care is so expensive in the States. But this is part of survival, is kind of what I'm learning. And it makes it harder to take care of your teeth in the future if you don't get them taken care of. So this is what I'm doing to make it a little more ADHD friendly for myself moving forward. First of all, I'm trying to recognize that like it is actually cheaper to go to the dentist regularly than it is to wait for 3 years. Like, yeah, I saved some money from those appointments, but like the list of dental care that I need at this point is more than I can actually do. And it's gonna be probably spaced out over the next like year. There's so many things with ADHD. You do the head in the sand thing, and like maybe this thing will go away. This is one of those things that does not go away. It doesn't get better. You don't get like let off the hook if you procrastinate on it. It just piles up and gets worse. Two of the things in my life that are important but not urgent are using this treadmill that's been collecting dust in my garage and learning how to be a better leader. Blinkist is helping me with both. Blinkist is an app that offers the best selection of nonfiction books, pulls out key ideas, and pulls them into short text and audio explainers called Blinks. They're really engaging, which is great for distracting me from how boring exercise is and keeping me on the elliptical a little longer. And they're short enough that I can get through a bunch of blinks in one sitting. Or standing? Walking? Ellipticaling? How do you say that? I recently discovered this one, where Scott Miller, host of the leading podcast on leadership, goes over 5 of his favorite books on leadership. It's really cool because he talks about a book he likes and why, and then the blinks for that book automatically start playing. I've loved his choices so far. Multipliers was so good I ordered the actual book version of it, and Radical Candor I added to my shared spaces. This one is for the How to ADHD team, so we can all learn how to communicate more effectively. If you like learning new things in an engaging way, you can get 25% off Blinkist annual premium. Start your 7-day free trial by going to Blinkist.com/howtoadhd or clicking the link below. One of the things I'm going to do is, like, if I can go to the dentist regularly, I'm going to try to go to the dentist regularly and remember that just because something has to be done doesn't mean I have to do it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be like I have money to do all of the things, or I have time to do all of the things, or nothing. It can be just like, hey, I don't have the money for any of that. Like, I just need my teeth cleaned right now so that it doesn't get worse while I try to survive. But also, like, I didn't realize like how much the cleaning would help in terms of being able to take care of my teeth, because it was hurting to floss. You know, my gums were kind of tender and painful and stuff. I didn't realize it wasn't normal for them to be sore like that, because I guess I'd just gotten used to it. Now that I've had like the deep cleaning, it doesn't hurt the same way to floss, and I don't even bother with the like floss that hurts my fingers. It is an important accommodation for me to get the floss pick things, and I just keep them in a jar in the bathroom and, you know, by my bed. I'm going to be doing them everywhere. J2, one of the people who works for our channel, had a great suggestion, which is just have them everywhere and use them as a fidget. If you have a prescription bottle or just some sort of bottle, toss them in your purse and just have them everywhere. Have them around where you might want to pick up and fidget with something, and that way you can floss as a like mindless fidget kind of thing, instead of having to drag yourself into the bathroom at night when you're already exhausted and remember to floss. It's just like available to you wherever you are. Because I have a permanent retainer behind my 2 front teeth. My dentist was really sweet and patient and explained to me something that no other dentist had explained, which is that I really need like a water pick thing because I can't floss that area. So I got one of those. And I'm just asking for help. Like, I asked what brand to get, like what dentist do I go to? It was embarrassing that this stuff is so hard for me, but it is. And so I'm trying to like admit that and ask for help. And I hope this encourages you to talk in the comments about like what you do to make it easier. I talk in another video about how like I'm trying to understand how executive function challenges impact other areas of my life that are about self-care or about me being okay or me having a good and fulfilling life as opposed to just productivity for other people. Well, this is one of those things. Like, keeping my teeth doesn't, like, that's not a productivity thing. That doesn't benefit anybody but me, really. But it is important, and I do face all the same executive function challenges there. I'm really exhausted right before bed, and I kind of do a wind down ritual where I'm very tired before I go get into bed so that I can sleep okay. So if I'm wired when I get to bed, I won't sleep. You know, keeping a toothbrush and toothpaste in the downstairs bathroom is something that I'm going to try so that I can brush my teeth after dinner. And you know what? Like, sometimes I like to snack after dinner. Brushing my teeth, even if I'm going to snack after, is still better than not brushing my teeth before I go to bed. Or, you know, I can snack and then brush my teeth and then wind down a little bit more before I go to bed. But try and brush my teeth right before bed. I'm too tired, and the minty toothpaste wakes me up. Another trick that I heard is, like, get a few different types of toothpaste so that there's, like, variety, you're not so bored. Instead of doing the minty toothpaste, because it will kind of wake you up, do like a bubblegum toothpaste or just experiment with different flavors of toothpaste. I guess the TLDR of all of this is, like, there are ways to make this more ADHD friendly, and I think it's really important that we do that we get the support that we need, that we let the doctor know that we have sensory sensitivities. Because once I spoke up about that, there was a lot more checking in, like, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Having a dentist, first of all, that was understanding of the fact that I was trying to survive. And he may not even have understood that it was because I had ADHD. Maybe it was just about COVID, but that's what we go through. Like, so many people with ADHD are fighting so hard just to survive, that having that acknowledged and having that, I don't know, the sins of not having brushed your teeth or whatever, like, be forgiven. It's just the judgment that we face, like, when we do get to the dentist, it can be hard. So find a dentist that's not going to be judgmental, somebody who's going to care about your comfort levels. There are so many differences in dentists in terms of how sensitive they're going to be to your needs. You know, are they treating you like you're a mouth to be fixed, or are they treating you like a whole human who needs to feel safe in that chair? I hope this was helpful. This was really difficult for me to talk about, especially because it is something I can mostly mask. This is just one of those aspects of my ADHD that really took a toll on me, and I really did pay a pretty high ADHD tax. And I'm hoping that talking about this might help the ADHD tax in terms of, like, dental fees, and losing teeth might not be as high for some of you guys. So thanks for watching. Thank you to my Patreon brains for paying for my dental care and making it so that I can do videos like this, and it's vulnerable to talk about this. Do what you can. Know that it's not all or nothing. Like, subscribe, click all the things, and I will see you next video. Bye, brains.